Most of y'all do not need help with your taxes from me. This is not for you if you don't need taxes from a toothless hippie. Okay? Whatever I am. I don't know if hippie really applies, but whatever. Okay, so I went to taxslayer.com and I was able to file an itemized federal tax report for free. I itemized, I claimed my store, my Etsy store, because that's provable, you know, like I have proof of that. It's all online. I didn't lose the records, but I didn't know how to get the records off of Etsy, so I just went to Etsy, looked up the number, and declared it. I also declared a few hundred from panhandling and gifts. There was a section that said miscellaneous income, so I typed in panhandling and busking. So that's cool. That's a thing that you can do. I still don't know what form I filed. So if that's any indication, that means you don't need any information about what forms you're going to have to file beforehand. Where it gets complicated, if you're on the road, is if you worked a regular job that sent out W-2s, because then you would need those W-2s in order to file that, and I'm sure there's a way to get it, but I'm not the one about that. I just know how to file as self-employed, an itemized tax return apparently. I realized as they guided me through the questions that my costs are very high, you know, like to be able to store things I had to buy a bin, and I have to carry things or I have to ship them, and I spend a lot of money reinvesting into my business on craft supplies. I lost a lot of craft supplies last year, so I claimed a low ball estimate as a loss on there. But I didn't need, okay, here's the thing. I wish I'd have done it before, because I was telling myself for so long that it wasn't a thing that I knew how to do, and now that line makes me realize that I was being a lazy piece of shit. Just do it. You don't need to know. You don't need proof. I mean, if you're trying to claim a lot, it's going to be a bigger deal. But your expenses are so high on the road. You can't buy in bulk. You can't buy, you know, all of the economic ways to shop out the window. You have to buy already prepared food. Most of the time, your vehicular expenses are a business expense. It's bulk, because there is no separating any part of your homelessness from business. It's all business, and that's the weird part, because, like, depending upon where I sleep, I could wake up, run off by the cops, or with $20 on top of my backpack. I don't know, but it's almost like the entire thing costs you money to perform, and that is how you just, okay. I hear that if you made less than $400, you might get a tiny return, but I didn't want to lie on my tax returns, because, like, they do have minor amounts of proof, and I did do some subcontracting through a gallery. I didn't make that much through them. I declared that as well. Even though I didn't have proof, I just declared a ballpark estimate throughout all of the things that I declared: panhandling, busking, and my Etsy store. And it was accepted. I don't qualify for a return. I'm not getting any money back on my 2019 taxes for having been homeless, which is kind of bullshit, honestly. But I am eligible for the $1,200 stimulus because I filed taxes for last year. So that's the important part. Once you start mixing the W-2s, I don't know anything about it, because I've never worked a regular job. So that part might be more of a clusterfuck paper-wise than just doing a self-employed. And it's funny, because a lot of my friends have told me, do not itemize. It costs money to itemize. I don't know, it didn't cost. Another friend of mine said that they tried to charge her $17, but she was happy about it. So I think that she probably had some taxable income that was claimed, or income that was taxed claimed, because, like, it's all taxable, but they didn't want any money from me. They were like, no, just keep your pocket limp, ma'am. But yeah, taxslayer.com. It was super easy. There are other tools available that can be found on the IRS website, which is where I found the link to TaxSlayer. But some of the other, I don't know if it was just the interfacing that made me feel confused, or the fact that it automatically asked me, like, hey, what are you filing? And I'm like, I don't know which start button is for me. But with TaxSlayer, it was pretty self-explanatory, and I didn't have too much of a problem. It was a little frustrating at first, because how do you even start that? But you just go to the website and ask it to guide you through the questions. And yeah, if you're homeless, you're definitely self-employed. You're the one who decides when you clock in at the corner. You're the one who decides when you clock out. But I even declared some of the food money that I spent as a business expense, only like 40 or 50 bucks, but sometimes where I went to make money is on the expensive side of town, and I can't leave and go elsewhere to eat and then get back over to the part of town that's busy where I can busk. So that's technically a business lunch. I have to eat. And I talked to other people about business, maybe. Like that definitely counts when you're discussing business with other people for a business lunch. But I only declared one night in a hotel room because I didn't want to be greedy, and I know that I've spent a couple more nights in hotel rooms, but eventually I will be able to declare a portion of my rent as a business expense, because I use that part of my home only for business. But right now I don't have a specifically designated space. I'm just using my kitchen, so that would be unethical, I guess, to try to say that it's a business expense and have the government pay for my kitchen. But yeah, I don't owe any money, and they don't owe me anything, so that's a good thing. From what I hear, owing taxes will not disqualify you from receiving the stimulus check unless it is child support. Back taxes, student loan, medical debt, none of that will interfere, from what I've been reading. And let me tell you, I read a lot. It's been making me look a little antisocial around the house, because there's, I live with other people, and they come into the room and I'm just like, reading all these articles on my phone, trying to figure this out and prepare myself, because I've never had $1,200 of my own before. I have never. $1,200 I could potentially invest in my business in a life-changing way. I could buy some supplies and make better crafts. I could do so much with that. I could have my rent paid, and just, I can't afford to miss the opportunity, even if it doesn't work. So yeah, that's where I'm at with it. But I didn't need any paperwork. I had to know my social security number, but I didn't need to have the card or anything that wasn't still in my backpack, because I've lost everything, including my ID. But I hope this helps. And yeah, just get over there and click the I want you to guide me through the questions, and I'm best of luck. I'm sure it'll work out. If you work a regular job, you're gonna have to keep your W-2s. So for you travelers, here's my best advice on that one. Next time you work a regular job, snap a picture when they send you a W-2. Snap pictures of your pay stubs, keep them in a folder on your phone. Email them to yourself. Send them to yourself in Messenger. It doesn't matter how you get them digitally accessible, so that when you log back into your Facebook again, you have access to them, because we do lose material objects too rapidly to keep track. Paper does not have a long lifespan inside of a backpack made of fabric when it rains. It's just how things work. That's physics. So I guess now that I've divulged into physics lessons, it's time to end the video. But I hope you have a great day. I hope you manage to wrestle the government and win $1,200 in the Battle Dome. But from 6 feet apart, this is a really weird situation. Anyway, I love you all, and I hope that I have managed to help some of y'all. And yeah, there's another way that you can collect the money digitally, and you don't need a bank account or an ID. I'll do another video on that one. Love you guys. Bye.